Hello, my friends. I'm here on this beautiful Wednesday with another reading from my upcoming book, Insights to Light the Way, Lessons from Life and ALS About Living Well. This topic is especially near and dear to my heart and really encapsulates my perspective, my relationship with the idea of ALS within my reality. And it's called I'm Not Fighting Against ALS. So I'm going to get into it here and I hope you enjoy it. In the ALS community, there's much discussion about fighting, beating, and defeating ALS. Given the way in which this disease takes away physical function and life from ALS patients, I can understand why war metaphors like these may be fitting. ALS is such a terrible disease that it is tempting to want to stomp it out and to make it a thing of the past that only exists in memory. While it might be helpful for some people to use narratives in which they are fighting or battling against ALS, reminding them to be brave or strong like a warrior, I prefer to avoid discussing what I am going through in terms of a battle. I want to be clear in saying that I am not fighting against ALS. Depending on how you read that last sentence, it could sound as if I am surrendering or resigning myself to defeat. While the words may seem to have a connotation of giving up hope, this isn't the case. The reason I'm not fighting ALS is because, to me, there is nothing to fight against. ALS isn't an enemy on a battlefield, but a disease within the body. It's a set of symptoms of which we lack an understanding of cause, a lack of bodily balance that results in the loss of motor neurons and physical function for an unknown reason. In my mind, that's all ALS is, and if I were to make it into an enemy, I wouldn't know what exactly I was fighting against. Unlike living with cancer, there is no tumor that I can turn into an adversary. Because we don't yet understand the cause of function loss, battling against something so intangible as ALS would be like trying to fight a ghost. I cannot help but feel that going to war against it on the battlefield of my body would only result in my body becoming an unintended casualty. In a certain sense, it is a gift that I cannot pinpoint a specific location for ALS within my body. It allows there to be nothing specifically for me to blame, nothing to start a war against. The ironic thing about going to war with something in our minds is that we strengthen the idea of it as we direct our conscious energy and thoughts toward it. In this way, starting a war against ALS would only cement the validity of the reality that I would be trying to fight against. I also find it unhelpful to frame my experience of living with ALS as a battle because it wouldn't be a fair fight. Most people that ever fight against ALS end up losing the battle anyway, and I have no desire to waste precious energy in conflict. If I had been fighting against ALS in the past 3 years since my diagnosis, it would have continually felt as if I am failing to win the war. ALS would be a battle that I was losing. Even more fundamentally, I don't believe that there is some big, bad enemy called ALS that is taking my function away. I see this disease as nothing more than a state of dis-ease, a lack of balance within the body system. Whenever we notice a lack of balance in the body, we don't go to war against it, but instead try to create the conditions in which balance can be restored. When a bone breaks, we don't fight against the damage, but instead let it heal. It is clear to me that inner conflict and feelings of failure in fighting against ALS would not be an ideal environment for physical healing, and it certainly wouldn't create an enjoyable experience of life. While the cause of this imbalance may not be so clear as a broken bone, it is clear to me that by loving and having compassion for this body, I give myself the best chance to prolong this life. I am not fighting against ALS. I'm loving myself. It is a relief, actually, to write this. That's a description of how I feel about this journey, and it's something that I've never put into words before. Not in this way, anyway. So I hope this helps to give you some insight into how I view this experience, and I'm grateful that there's nothing for me to fight against. There's nothing for me to blame and say, this is your fault, ALS, you know. It doesn't really have a reality all its own. It's just a set of symptoms. So I'm loving my body. That's all I can do. I can't fight against something that I don't know what it is, that scientists don't know the cause of or how to heal. All I can do is take care of this body and love this body and myself to the best of my ability. I love you so much, and I really, really thank you for listening and being here today and hearing this topic that is just so important to me. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.